Being a world champion is the easiest thing if you have the courage and you have the wherewithal to go for it.
We are already here from the office of the president of NBBofC.
My name is Dr. Rafiu Ladipo. I am the president of the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control, a body that has been there for well over 75 years. You do realize that boxing was the very first sport that puts Nigeria's image on the world sporting map through the likes of the late Ogan Kid Bassi, Dick Tiger, Najim Mayegun, Rafiu King, Bash Ali, even as we speak, Samuel Peters, Joel Assisi, Oganjima, Dele Jonathan, Ontakle, Obisian Wakpa, and right now, Efe Ajagba, who is campaigning in the United States for the heavyweight class.
That's a lot of talent you got out of here.
Yeah,
right.
Yes, Nigerian boxing was up there in the 70s and 80s. But later part of 90s, Nigerian boxing started coming down. Not because of anything, but because the older generations were getting tired. And you know, boxing is about being young and being of agility and the love and passion for the game. So it went down a little, but since the last 6 years, boxing has come back, particularly when we have a group led by me, ably assisted by the Honorable General Secretary of the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control, Mr. Oluremi Aboderin, who is a workaholic, who goes everywhere to source for boxing events.
It's a good time to understand what are the great work you guys are doing so far.
Like my president said, we actually have to work in unity. We have to work together with the other board members to make sure that we give our best to the budding talents that we have in Nigeria as it concerns professional boxing. And one way or the other, we've been able to at least know our onions in making sure that we get these boys to the heights that they will want to get to in pro boxing all around the world.
How many boxer professionals you guys had in Nigeria? You mentioned some names sometimes back. Can you remind me how many boxers you guys had?
I really can't say this is the exact number, but we have over 600 pro boxers right there in Lagos alone. In
Lagos alone, right?
Lagos, remember, 600.
I think to have this number of talents give you so much options, and to build the young to that magnitude, a fantastic job. So how have you reached there? What was the secret?
I can say to you, there's no secret in this. This country called Nigeria, it's a very big country. We have about 36 states plus the Federal Republic of, Federal Capital Territory. So we have over 200 million people.
Yeah.
You know, in that number, the youth will be more than the early ones. And this boxing in Nigeria has been on, pro boxing actually, from the 1945-47. So having 600 number of boxers is no big deal compared to like America. I'm positive they have much more than that. But with this 600 that I'm saying we are not talking about others from the other different states of Nigeria. So we would have over a million if we are to actually look at it from the other 36 states of the federation that are not being mentioned. Just over here in Lagos, like I said, I'm positive we have about 600. So the number, I won't say it's that bogus because the country itself is big enough. So the 600 is still meager compared to the number of our population. And we have been able to manage all these boxers because they are in different boxing categories. And anyone that is ready to at least make boxing his vocation, that is what give boxing is 100%, we are ready to work with the boxer and then help him to achieve his aim.
Fantastic. I mean, if you take in West Africa, right, we have seen Nigeria has been one of the leading entity when it comes to boxing management and come to growth of the boxers. And you guys also have the numbers of good, let's say, referees. How you guys get all those guys to get trained? How you build up and license all your referees and how they come to the spotlight?
Well, like I said, this is a board that has been on since 1940s. So we have our elderly ones those that have been there before us that have done all the necessary work for us to build on, and that's exactly what we are building on. We have boxers, like we have a very aged referee right now. He's very aged, but before he became aged, and he's still living by God's grace, he trained some of the younger ones to also take over from him. I'm talking about Pa Jacobs.
Okay.
So even one of his sons is also a trained R&J, that's referee and judge. So he did a lot in training the present crop, and recently we bring in trainers, that is reputable referees and judges from all across the world to also come and train our officials. Recently we brought in Daniel van der Weel, all the way from Belgium,
Okay.
who has done at least 2 trainings over 2 years for Nigeria. Recently, we also brought in, through the support of Bamura, someone from Ghana, Roger Bano, who also came in to train our boxers, our referees and judges. So that's the way we are keeping to bring in more new referees and judges that are very well trained to know the trade. So that way we are being able to at least get new crops of judges.
What do you think in the future when there are international trainer coming over? Let us know, and then maybe work closely also with the Benin boxing community to have the opportunity to step in and to get trained as well.
When there's such an opportunity that is coming up, we will definitely get that. I know that if you start the boxing opportunities that you want to open in the Republic of Benin, definitely it's also going to be part of what we are doing there. So whenever there's going to be a training program, we'll always incorporate your country and then get 1 or 2, 3 of your officials to be trained alongside us. Like I said, even right now we have our Nigerian referees and judges who can train your upcoming ones right there in the Republic of Benin. So whenever such an opportunity arises again, you can be rest assured you'll be called in.
Let me ask you a question. When we look today, I mean, all the big bell, WBC and all the rest, how are the chances for, I mean, people from Africa to be on the top level and to be able to compete for the title, for world title? What are the chances that we have today?
The chances are bright. I mean, right now we have the Bakole. It's not European, it's an African. He's doing pretty well. If he had beaten his opponent, Joseph Parker, he would have become a WBO champion or WBA champion, you understand?
Yeah.
Same thing we have Efe Ajagba. So the opportunity is there for the boxer that is sure of himself, that knows his onions and is ready to mix it up officially in the ring. And I mean, any boxer with the lion heart who knows that, yes, this is what I want to, this vocation is what I want to use to at least be known all over the world as a world champion. There's no discrimination in boxing. Nobody, like the president said, it's like a team, but it's just about a team of 2, 3, or 4 people.
Yeah.
You have your trainer, your coach, your cut man, and then you. Just about 4 or 5 of you. But in the ring, it's just you alone.
Just you alone.
And you alone against the opponent. So a boxer that is good, yes, sometimes it does happen that he might be robbed in officiating, but if you beat the opponent blue-black and he's sprawling on the ring canvas, nobody can now say you did not win. So it's all about how you really want to take your destiny in your hand and beat your opponent blue-black, and nobody will be able to rob you. So being a world champion is the easiest thing if you have the courage and you have the wherewithal to go for it.
Tell me more. I mean, I hear that there's so many competitions going in Nigeria. Let's say in 1 month, how many competitions professional can be held in Nigeria?
Oh, definitely. I will say to you, in a month at least, we do have about 7. The least is about 5.
Okay.
You know,
So minimum you are doing 5,
Yes.
sometimes more than
well,
that.
no, but of course we do about 7, 8.
Okay,
at a time.
per month.
Or even in a week we do have 2 or 3 bouts.
Okay.
Depending on when the boxers, promoters are ready. But the minimum is about 4 or 5.
Which are the most active, let's say, city? Lagos or any most active?
Wow, the
area?
most active venue is still Lagos, no doubt about it. But even at that, Ibadan, or your state is still, we will be in Ibadan on the 29th.
Okay.
Understand? So we have boxing activities in Ibadan. We will be going to another state, Osun State, on the 9th of June.
Okay.
Understand? We've been to Abuja, that's the Federal Capital Territory. But to be candid, the space of activities right now is still Lagos. And that's why I said to you, we have over 600 boxers in Lagos alone,
yeah.
compared to other states.
Amazing. What would be your advice for, to be honest with you, boxing in every single country has been a very old sport, just had not been really taken care of in certain countries. What should be your advice for the countries where the boxing, especially professional boxing, has not come to the top level?
Well, the fact is, it's all about the youth of that country. Are they interested more in sports, boxing, or football? Understand? You can't force somebody to go into boxing. He must have the flair. He must have the interest. Unlike football, where you can, even when your kid is not ready to play football, but you start him or her off by putting him in an academy from youth, and he can just from there decide to be into that sport. But in boxing, the kid himself must be convinced that he loves the sport. He wants, after his father may have brought him in enrollment kind of, but when he grows and he feels that this is not what I want to do, you can. So it's the interest of the youth of that country. If the youth are interested, the government has no choice but to encourage them by providing the amenities needed to make their youth to blossom.
Super. It's a pleasure to have you. Any last words that you want to share to our viewers?
Well, the fact is, let's say how we can make this sport a very lucrative sport where our youth would be known to at least earn great money to feed their families and also feed themselves and live rest-iveness and not be tools for the devil's workshop. So I pray, I'm believing that government of each state, each nation will be out there to put money, to put funds into sports promotion so that the kids can excel in their God-given profession.
And at the end of the day, we're already making gains in that area. You discover that right now we have young talents who are ready to make their names and make money for boxing. Particularly those who have taken up boxing as their means of living. They want to use that money they make from boxing to take care of their families and possibly become employers of labor. The more reason why somebody like me, who has been in sports for well over 50 years, and a partner in Oluremi Aboderin, to say that boxing comes back and we want to give it all that it takes to propel the Nigerian young guys who have the potentials of becoming world beaters. Right now, we have young guys who are promising, if, as we are handling them, will become world champions any moment from now.
Beautiful. You have been in the business of sport for over 50 years, right? So what will you say are the big difference between boxing and, let's say, football, for instance? Because we see that many governments spend so much money supporting football, but boxing, not that support, do not receive the same support. What will you say are the difference?
Football is a team game. Boxing is an individual game. The more reason why government supports football is to project their image, the image of the country. When you go out there to fight, to play football at the Olympics, at the Commonwealth Games, at the All-African Games, it is the country that is at focus. But as boxers, particularly in pro boxing, it is individual games. And so it is not all the governments of Africa that take such passion to want to support pro boxing, because they believe that the boxers are doing their business. They've tried and they want to make boxing their means of living. Therefore, they should be able to do things for themselves. But it is not so. It is not so. When even one boxer from Nigeria wants to fight, the whole world stay not sleeping. Take, for instance, anytime our own Anthony Joshua wants to fight, everybody in this country will be waiting to see that bout. All other people across the world will be waiting to watch the game on TV, on YouTube, and the rest. I particularly went to Wembley Stadium in London twice to watch Anthony Joshua. I was in Cardiff, in the Wales, to watch Anthony Joshua. I was at the Madison Square Garden to watch Samuel Peters when he fought against Jamie McLean to claim the interim championship in the heavyweight division. And I also followed him to Cancun, Mexico, where he defeated Oleg Meskev. So it is not just a game of individuals. It is also for the image of the country. You need to know how many Nigerian flags are made, distributing to people at the stadium in Mexico, over 5,000 flags, Nigerian flags. And at the Madison Square Garden are the same. So it is the country that also will be the signal of all eyes across the world when boxing takes place. Well, in football, there's a big difference. Like I said, it's a team game. You have 18 players, 11 on the field, the others on the reserve bench. And it's a game that involves another country of the same number of players. And so that is why government is putting more money into football rather than into boxing.
But I mean, at one point they have to, do a bit of balance, right? So at the end of the day, you said it, that Nigeria was the boxing was the first sport to bring Nigeria on the stage of the world,
Yeah.
right? And how can we do, or how Nigeria, or how you are doing today, to bring much of Anthony Joshua, much of your kids to come to that same level?
Yes, we have a job on hand. It's a big task. We have to get the government encouraged to be involved seriously in boxing. Whenever boxing activity is taking place, we have to get the government officials and big people in Nigeria, like we're doing now. We have been having some bouts now where the big guys, the Director General of the Sports Ministry, have been invited to come and watch. And then we have to go and use that same medium to be able to talk to the federal government of Nigeria why they should support boxing. Anthony Joshua is a Nigerian, but he fights for Britain. When he comes to the ring, they introduce him because his root is Nigeria. And when he's coming to the ring, he's a British boxer. Beyond that, the Anthony Joshua that is acknowledged and recognized and respected in Nigeria is here in Nigeria today. The games, the Nigeria National Sports Festival, is taking place in Abeokuta. Anthony Joshua became a guest, special guest for the games, and was there to lead the flame of the National Sports Festival. Meaning what? It means we are beginning to recognize the importance of boxing as a sport. Because if you use Anthony Joshua, it's an encouragement, it's an inspiration to other boxers in Nigeria. So we have to work seriously to make government to do this. And not just that. Even in other countries of Africa, it should be the same. In Ghana, I know some boxers that have given good names and good image to their country, Ghana. Asuma Nelson is there.
Well, what will you say, right? As you mentioned, Anthony Joshua, he's a Nigerian, right? He went to Great Britain. He became, they used to use the flag of Great Britain. But how can we make sure that the boxer don't need necessarily to leave the continent before becoming a star? Let's say, for instance, at the Sunday we're looking at MMA, right? Now, he is Nigerian. Good, he still keeps his Nigerian flag, right? Cameroon's not the same, right? Let's come back to the boxing. How can we ensure that a boxer can stay locally, be built locally, and become a star locally, and in the world through being still training locally?
That has to be an issue we must work about. I mentioned Efe Ajagba in my speech. Efe Ajagba is a Nigerian boxer based in the United States. Why is he in the United States? He went there to acquire more knowledge. The training facilities that we have in this country is not good enough for a boxer of that class, because he's meeting other boxers of the world who have opportunities to train at these modern day facilities wherever they are. And that is why most of them jet out of this country to go and train more and acquire more knowledge. Well, boxing is not just anything now. It's a dynamic sport. It's scientific. And anybody who wants to do boxing now must make sure that he has the necessary training, equipment, and facilities for him to build himself. Now that is not happening yet in this country. That is the area where we have to work on. And again, sir, the economic situation in this country or in Africa is also not helping matters, because the world is talking of dollars. And when you have $1 in the United States or any part of the world, translate it to your own local currency, it's a big money. So all these boxers now, when they want to fight, they want to go out there and collect dollars, which they will now translate into their own currency. This is a big problem affecting the African boxers. That is why you see them going to America, going to Europe, going to Canada to be part of what is happening there, until our economic situation improves. Where the dollar, in those days, where the Dick Tiger and Ogambasi were fighting, how much was a dollar to the Nigerian money? It was, in fact, our money was even higher in value, more than the dollar. Today, Nigerian naira and dollar, Nigeria naira is here, dollar is there. So you discover that until that improves, nobody will want to stay put. Well, you in this country, like you mentioned, in football, sorry to digress into football, we have stars that are playing in Europe, in America, all over the world. How much do they earn here as their pay? And look at them, how much do they earn over there? Here in Nigeria, you see the highest paid footballer will be receiving 1.something million naira. Equivalent of how much? But a month, it's in a month. But that same player, the moment he goes abroad and is found to be good, is paid weekly in dollars. Some of them earn minimum of $10,000, $20,000 a week. You translate that into naira, it's a lot. So a lot of our sportsmen now don't want to stay here because of the naira value to the dollar, until such a situation improves, and that has to do with government. So I pray that one day we get back there where the naira and the dollar, if not at par, will be close to each other in value.
Interesting. Obviously, that is if you look at the maths, right, as a boxer, or even as an individual, if you see that you can do better when you step out, you every time tend to step out. I mean, no one, everyone will go to that direction, unfortunately. But what is also great, really, is the speed that Nigeria is going to build new boxers. It's quite impressive. Because the numbers of fighters you guys have here, I was discussing with Remy, and the same guy has 400 or 500 plus boxers, professional, which is quite impressive. How do you guys make that speed happen?
Well, I want to say it again. I have a secretary that is hardworking. He registers these boxers when they get to him. He encourages them to do their professional boxing. And I lend my support because I with Remy were like 5 and 6 in football. So in the boxing board, Nigerian Boxing Board of Control, Remy and I are 5 and 6. Anything we want to do, we sit down, we map out our strategies, and that is producing some boxers now. We have some promoters who have been assisting us to raise these new boxers, new talents coming up. And if I must make mention, if I'm allowed to make mention of some companies, I will mention 3. We have a group, a promotional outfit called Flykite. Flykite has been responsible for several years discovering all these young talents. He has given some of them a list of life on what they want to do as far as boxing is concerned. We have another young promoter, very new promoter, who is so promising. His outfit is called Bamora. Bamora is doing boxing as it is done in Las Vegas, as it is done in Canada or any part of the world. Bamora is putting so much money. I wish you will be part of one of his boxing shows and you will marvel at what is coming up. We have another one, I must mention it, the last promotions. The last promotions too is very promising. We have a lot of them, but these 3 stands out and they are doing so well. We are working in conjunction with them to be able to get all these young talents. You know what boxing is about being young. You can only do good boxing when you are 17, 18, 19, till you are 25, 28. By the time you get to 30 and more, then you have what we call diminishing returns when it comes to your stamina. And so how much of boxing can you do when you are 35? In fact, if you go to the books of boxing, it is recommended that by the time you are 38, you stop boxing. And if you want to go on the ring again, you must be able to be certified. You must be certified that you are good to go into boxing. So boxing is for the young ones, 17, 18 to 25, 28. And then with that, you can have boxing done. You make your money when you are young and make good use of it, taking care of your families, and possibly turning to employers of labor.
Amazing. I mean, great job done by all those promoters. And I think it's very important to have, first of all, someone who loves the sport and who wants to bring the boxer to a certain level. And one last word, what will be your advice to all the young generation who are into boxing? Understanding that not all of them have the chance to be star, right? What should be your advice?
Well, boxing is a game. Boxing is business. Boxing makes you to make money. And if you have chosen to make boxing as your means of living, it is something you have to give it 100% concentration, 100% focus, and be ready to give it all that it takes. So that if you say within the next 5, 10 years, I want to become a world champion. It is possible. If you have turned pro at 17, you can become a world champion in 10 years' time. It is possible. So my advice to the young boys taking into boxing is that they must be very focused. They must be very serious. They must steer clear of several issues that militate against their growth in boxing. You know, the disciplinary aspect of a boxer is very important. A boxer who womanizes cannot move. A boxer who drinks cannot make it. A boxer who smokes is ready for doom. A boxer that is ready to part with all those things. No keeping late nights, no womanizing, no taking drugs or whatever, is as good as becoming a world champion any moment from now. So my advice to the boxers is that they must be serious. They must be focused. They must know that this is the only means of living they want to have, and they don't have any other thing doing. Go and ask Anthony Joshua, go and ask Tyson Fury, go and ask Oleg Maskiev, Usyk, Deontay Wilder, and the rest. If they were taken to all these bad behaviors, they won't be who they are today. Make your money when you are young, and then you can ask. You can relax. The richest sportsman in history is a boxer. Floyd Mayweather Jr., the millionaire man.
Here we go.
Yeah. He made so much money. He has sense. He's retired. They have been calling him, come and fight again. We give you $600 million. He said, no, I don't want those young ones to break my bones. The money I've made, I will keep to it. I will use it to develop myself, develop my business, develop my family, and help others to grow. And that is the only way you can be something in boxing.
Beautiful. Again, I think message is very clear for all the young out there. One single thing, take care of yourself, be nice, be respectful, and really follow the right way. Dr. Rafiu Ladipo, it's a pleasure again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I wish you keep it up. Boxing is a conventional trade. Boxing is a worldwide sport. And so whatever you are doing in Nigeria, we can also do same in Benin Republic, in Ghana, and all over the world. I want to see a Nigerian or an African becoming a world champion any moment from now. Any moment from now, it is possible. We have them in Zambia, we have them in Uganda, in Tanzania, we have them all over Africa. Let us make sure that all these guys will be assisted to become champions of the world. For us in the boxing board, we are so passionate that whatever we are doing is not because of money. We're not making money from boxing. Rather, we put our money and time into boxing, wanting the young ones to develop themselves and become millionaires in the nearest future.
We pray for boxing. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.